Shakespeare, Sonnet 80. Oh, how I faint when I of you do write, knowing a better spirit doth use your name, and in the praise thereof spends all his might, to make me tongue-tied, speaking of your fame. But since your worth, wide as the ocean is, the humble as the proudest sail doth bear, my saucy bark inferior far to his, on your broad main doth wilfully appear. Your shallowest help will hold me up afloat, whilst he upon your soundless deep doth ride, or being wrecked. I am a worthless boat, he of tall building and of goodly pride. Then, if he thrive and I be cast away, the worst was this: my love was my decay. Analysis of Sonnet 80. So right off the bat in this poem, the author starts saying that he's having a hard time writing about this person because he knows that a better spirit is using their name. So he says that he's having such a hard time writing about this because another person is writing too. So to understand who that other person is, what the connection is, I used a source from the book The Shakespeare Sonnet Order, Poems and Groups by Brent Sterling. So in that, it outlines that Sonnet 80 is placed strategically in a group of 9 sonnets, commonly referred to as the Rival Poet series. So right off the bat, you know that the poet that he's talking about is his rival poet. So then, knowing that, you go on and you hear that the author says that the rival is praising this person that they both admire day and night and just spending all of his energy admiring this person. And then the author says that because this other person spends so much time and energy, he's often tongue-tied when he goes to talk about this person because he doesn't know what to say. And then the author goes into this comparison of him and his rival poet to boats on the ocean of his love's worth. So first he says, since your worth wide as the ocean is, so that's just establishing that this person's worth is extremely vast. And then he says that both big ships and small ships can sail on it. So he says that the ocean is so big of this person's worth that both he and the other poet can both be on it. But then he says, my saucy bark far inferior to his. So he establishes further that he sees himself as an inferior poet to this other rival. And then he goes into saying, on your broad main doth wilfully appear. So main is saying the ocean. So on your broad waters I appear, and even your shallowest help will keep me afloat. So he's saying that even when the ocean is shallow, even when you're only giving me a little bit of attention, it's enough to keep me afloat or alive or interested. So you see that on 2 levels. You see that on a level of him comparing his love to a boat, and then you see it on his actual love for this person. It's enough to keep him afloat and alive. Then he goes on to say that, well, the other poet rides on the ocean, or being wrecked, I'm a worthless boat. So the other poet's on the ocean, and even if the author is wrecked, he just refers to himself as a worthless boat, as if it doesn't matter if he gets wrecked because he finds so much worth in this person. And then he references the other boat and says that he is a big ship, the rival is of tall building and goodly pride. And then he says that then if he thrives and I be cast away. So he's anticipating that he is going to be the loser in this competition between the two poets. And he says that even if I am cast away, the worst thing that I will have to say is that my love was my decay. So he's saying that the worst case scenario is that I die because I am so in love with this person. When analyzing this poem overall, I kept going back to my source that I used, the book by Brent Sterling, because it really helped me put the poem in the context of the Rival Poet series. And Sonnet 80 is mainly about the author's struggle against the rival poet because they are both admiring and writing about the same person. The author feels undermined by his rival and even compares his rival to a large ship while comparing himself to a small and worthless ship.